Well, you have tattoos. Do you have any stories about them?
Well, I think all of them, of course, has a meaning, and the one in my back I got as a gift from the one who made this one, and it's called The Songbird, and he made it for me as I'm a singer. And then I did one in my foot in Norway just recently, and that's about my faith. So it says faith in runes, Swedish. And this one was when I was in Las Vegas, and at the moment I was feeling that I wanted to be left alone in a bit. Not from anyone particular. And because I'm that person, I'm very social, but I'm also very for myself. I need to be like, you know, if I go into a room with 50 people, I will get a panic attack. In that way that I'm nervous. And in the beginning with Nightwish, I was tossed into backstage rooms and there were like 50 people. And when you go into, everyone of course wants to look at me. And then I'm like, so I had to leave. And the guys were like, but hey. And I was like, I'm not like you. I don't like the attention. And that's the thing. I like to sing, but I'm afraid of being, you know, in the spotlight. So when I am on stage, I usually don't look so very much the first songs on the crowd. And then when I feel a bit safe, I can start to look, you know, a little bit on the people there.
Well, how does it feel to tour with so many men? You're almost the only girl.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been in bands with boys. I've always been a toy, what do you call it, toy boy or toy girl. I like to be with guys. But of course, touring with them is another thing than having guy friends. And the boys are of course a bit childish at moments and times. They are boys, and boys will be boys. And I'm quite lonely, of course. I mean, when they sit there and do some things, I'm like, oh, I go to bed, you know. But they try, you know, to. And I think they, in the beginning, they thought that I was, you know, with my, if I had a bad day as a girl, I can have PMS. I get angry, and they don't understand why. I start to scream at them, and they're like, I'm like, just leave me alone. And then I'm like, leave me alone. And they're like, what have we done? And it's only the hormones. I'm a girl. We have PMS and period and blah blah, you know. And they don't understand, and they are quite afraid, as men are. But they have learned, and now they know, like, okay, we leave Arska. She can sit there. But for the most time, I'm like that shoulder, like. Usually Marco comes to me and talks about the kids, and if he's sad and if I'm sad, and they are all different, you know. Some of them I can't talk deep with, but some of them I can go with problems too. So we have our different roles, and I think it's great to have them there. Of course, sometimes we are tired of each other. That's any family. So.
Well, now that you have been with the guys for 2 years, have you had any? Do you feel yourself a bit Finnish?
I have learned one thing, and that is because I'm a very talkative person. If I go into a room or a group, I'm the one that talks a lot. I like to talk. I've always been a talker. And with the guys, they're very silent. And actually, I have learned a lot of myself, because if I sit quiet, there comes thoughts, you know, here. So I have learned a lot from the guys that you don't have to talk. You can sit, and that's what I feel about Finnish people. You can be very silent and still there's a nice feeling. You can sit in the sauna, have a beer, maybe you talk a bit and you're quiet. It's like the north of Sweden. It's the same thing, you know. If you meet a guy from the north of Sweden, they're like, then they don't say anything for 5 minutes and like, yo. And I don't say all, because in Helsinki people talk more, in Åbo, Turku. I think like from the boys, they're from Kite, and in Kite they're like very tired, like silent.
Well, do you speak Finnish nowadays?
No, I'm so bad. You know, it's really different from, I mean, I'm good at languages. I know a bit of French, German, Danish. I mean, I know languages, but Finnish is, I can understand some sentences. If the boys sit and talk, I can snip things up and make a, like, okay, they're talking about this. But I bought the Finnish, course like to learn when I started. And I will learn Finnish, and I was like, and they're like, oh, this is really horrible, keskiviikko, and I tried to learn, but I think it's this thing that if I had lived in Finland and always had to talk, with everyone, but now everyone speaks English with me. In the beginning, I tried to get them to speak a bit Finnish, but they are like lazy, to learn, to teach me. So now I think I will never learn Finnish. Then I have to move to Finland to learn.
Well, thank you for this
Thank
lovely
you.
interview.
Thank you so much.